Welcome, friends. It's Gisa from Butterfly Garden. I have a story for you today. It's called Hot Roti For Dada-Ji, written by F. Zia, and the art is by Ken Min. Now, we read a story before that had the Indian food roti in it, and roti is a flatbread or tortilla that is made in India. Aneel was glad his grandparents had come to stay. Dada-Ji was teaching him to stand on his head and to sit like a serene lotus. Dadi Ma's prayer song made him bob his head from side to side, and the sweet curling smoke from her incense stick tickled his nose so. But his grandparents' stories were the best of all. Aneel loved hearing about the faraway village with the green wheat fields and the swaying coconut palms. "Who's telling me a story?" asked Aneel one day. No one answered. Sweet smoke snaked into his nose, and the tinkle of a tiny bell murmured in his ear. Dadi Ma's eyes were closed. Hari Om, she chanted. Aneel turned to Dada-Ji, who was standing on his head. "Will you tell me a story, Dada-Ji?" Aneel asked. "Hunji, yes, sir, 1 minute," said upside-down Dada-Ji. Then he flipped over, landing with a soft thump, and became a serene lotus on the rug. Aneel hopped onto his grandfather's lotus lap, and Dada-Ji began. In a village far, far away, where the warm breeze made the green wheat fields dance and the brown coconuts rustle, lived a lad who astonished the villagers morning, noon, and night. Aneel winked at Dada-Ji. After all, the lad in the story was none other than his very own Dada-Ji, long, long ago. Dada-Ji went on. In the morning, the lad wrestled a snorting water buffalo, and the villagers cried, "Arwah! Oh, wow!" At noon, he tied 2 hissing cobras in a knot. "Wah!" cheered the villagers. At night, the mighty lad spun 3 trumpeting elephants by their tails. "Wah! Wah!" shouted the villagers. Wah means wow. What made the lad so strong? It was the hot roti that sizzled and whizzled on Badi Ma's wood hearth. You see, Badi Ma, made the best roti around. Hungry villagers trampled tall fields and swam angry rivers to sniff the fluffy roti that bubbled and wobbled in ghee on the hot tava pan. Each day the lucky lad smacked his lips and rubbed his belly and ate a stack so high with a bit of tongue-burning mango pickle. He wanted the power of the tiger, Baba. After the lad had gobbled up the last roti, he licked salty specks from his fingertips one by one and burped twice. Then the power came rolling in like a great flood. Arwah! "Hunji, yes, sir," said the mighty lad, and off he went to do more wonderful things. He made the earth rumble beneath him in the morning. He shook the giant mango tree for Badi Ma's pickle pot at noon. And he touched the blue sky with his bare feet at night. "Arwah!" the villagers roared. "Wah, wah!" Dada-Ji looked at Aneel and rubbed his belly. A rumble grew into a mighty roar. He smacked his lips. "Does the lad still have the power, Dada-Ji?" Aneel asked. "There's only one way to find out, Baba," said his grandfather. "Does he want roti today?" Aneel asked. "Hunji, hot roti," Dada-Ji said. His mouth began to water. "With salty grains to lick?" asked Aneel. "And a bit of tongue-burning mango pickle," Dada-Ji said, drooling a bit. Aneel ran to ask his mother to make roti, but she was on the phone with Auntie Venu. So Aneel tugged at the edge of Dadi Ma's sari. "No roti today," she said with her eyes, and shooed him away. Next, Aneel tried his dad, who only ruffled the newspaper and dug his nose deeper into the pages. Finally, Aneel tried his big sister Kiran, but she didn't want sticky globs of dough getting under her starry nails. Don't worry, Dada-Ji, said Aneel. I watch Mom make roti all the time. I'll help you get your power back. Aneel opened the kitchen cupboard. He pushed past the rice and the red lentils. He pushed past the spices and the green lentils. Watch out, cried Mom. Aneel found the flour and dumped some into a big bowl. Aneel found the salt and dumped that in too. Aye, hi! Oh dear, exclaimed Daddy Ma. So much? But Dada-Ji loved salt. Next, Aneel added the water. Ch, cried Mom. So much? Kieran laughed at the watery mess, but Aneel didn't care. He just dumped in more flour. Achoo! Kieran sneezed in a floury cloud. Arwah! The boy has talent, cried Dada-Ji. Aneel mixed the flour and water and added more salt and began to knead the dough. He punched, he pushed, and he pulled. Arwah! Exactly like Booty Ma, shouted Dada-Ji. When the dough was smooth, Aneel rolled it into balls, enough for a roti stack as high as the ceiling. Then Aneel grabbed a rolling pin and one of the balls. The dough stuck here and it stuck there, but Aneel didn't give up. He rolled north and he rolled south. He rolled east and he rolled west. Hunji, cheered Dada-Ji. Here it goes. Bit by little bit, the first roti began to form. It looked like the USA, Kieran said and laughed. Roti can be any shape, right, Baba? Dada-Ji said, winking at Aneel. Aneel rolled out more and more balls of roti dough. Deco, look! Roti number 10 is a perfect circle, remarked Dudi Mom. Hunji, practice makes perfect, said Dada-Ji. When it was time to cook the roti, Dudi Mom got the tava pan smoky hot and added some butter. The first roti hissed. Very carefully, Dudi Ma helped Aneel flip it. The roti danced. Did Buddy Ma make them like this? Aneel asked. Huji, Dada-Ji said, nodding. At last, all roti were ready. Aneel piled them up in a high stack. Hot roti for Dada-Ji, he announced in his biggest voice. Wow, wow, exclaimed Dada-Ji. He grabbed a warm, steamy roti from the stack and took one bite, and another and another. He chomped and he chewed. Dada-Ji said, smacking his lips. Slurp, slurp, slurp. He licked the salty specks from his fingertips, one by one. Do you feel the power, Dada-Ji? Aneel asked. Huji, Dada-Ji said, flexing his muscles. Find me a snorting water buffalo to wrestle. Aneel giggled. There are no water buffaloes here. 2 hissing cobras to tie in a knot, Dada-Ji asked. Dada-Ji, Aneel laughed. Well, surely those are 3 elephants I hear trumpeting in the backyard, Dada-Ji said as he gobbled up another roti and licked the salt from his fingertips. Anything is possible, Baba. Let's see what we can do. Hand in hand, Aneel and Dada-Ji went outside to find new adventures. First, they made the earth rumble under their feet. Then they shook a mighty apple tree for Dadi Mom's pie. Last, they made bare feet touch the blue, blue sky. Dada-Ji, the power came back, Aneel cried. Dada-Ji smiled. Huji, he said. The power of the hot roti came back to the lad from a village far, far away. Thank you, my tiger. Thank you. And that's the end of our story. Thank you for joining us today. Please support us by subscribing and liking our channel. Thank you.